Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Good morning to all of you. It's our daily show on this Wednesday morning, and we got a good one. We're going to be talking all about the Mississippi River Festival in about 10:30, but starting off the show, we're going to be talking to SSP, and we're going to get the latest on a really great panel they have coming down the pipeline. Now, this is all about fraud prevention. And, you know, there's so many different types of fraud, and what they're doing at SSP in a couple of days is really cool, where senior citizens, their loved ones, family members can come in and learn a little bit more about some of the fraud going on in our area, some of the statistics and ways that local officials are combating it, and ways that you can help yourself if you're caught in that situation. So a great conversation in just about 10 minutes or so, but we got news to get to first. Here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update and join myself and boop, 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 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Alton first. Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford provided an update on a stabbing incident that occurred on Monday night at around 7:48 p.m. on June the 17th. Officers responded to the 900th block of Oakwood after receiving a report of a stabbing. The investigation revealed that an argument had escalated, resulting in one person being stabbed. The victim was initially treated at St. Anthony's Hospital, but later flown to a hospital in the St. Louis area via Arch. The victim expected to recover. A person of interest is in custody, and Chief Ford confirmed there is no ongoing threat to the public. The investigation continues, and anyone with information is urged to contact the Alton Police Department's Criminal Investigations Division at 618-463-3505, extension 634. Also in the news today, St. Louis County Police have confirmed the identity of the deceased in a homicide near the intersection of Balmoral Drive and Tay Road. The victim has been identified as Terrell Finnerson, 30, of Sims Avenue of St. Louis. Police officers responded to a shot spotter activation and 911 call for a shooting at 8:38 a.m. on Sunday, June the 16th. Upon arrival, they found the victim suffering from at least one gunshot wound. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. The Bureau of Crimes Against Persons is actively investigating the case. Anyone with information is urged to contact the St. Louis County Police or Crime Stoppers. The Alton Midwest Nationals F1 powerboat races are scheduled for this weekend at Alton Riverfront Park. The event, the fourth of 6 stops for the 2024 tour, will attract drivers nationwide and even local fans. Founded in 2017, the series features boats reaching speeds of up to 120 miles per hour and provides a significant economic boost to host cities. Friday's activities include boat testing, safety inspections, and a street party at Max downtown in Alton. Saturday and Sunday will feature qualifying races in multiple divisions. The weekend concludes with the post-race ceremonies and Mississippi, and of course the Mississippi River Festival. We'll keep you updated as we have Team Siebold on tomorrow to talk about their anticipation and excitement ahead of the Alton's spot on the Midwest Nationals tour. So there, that comes down the pipeline tomorrow as well. In Wood River, they may be set for a significant improvement as city officials are discussing a grant opportunity that's worth up to $2 million. Here's the latest. At a recent city council meeting, city manager Steve Palin highlighted the potential benefits of applying for a downtown grant, suggesting that requesting around $1 million might increase approval chances due to the competitive nature of the grant, which is limited to 20 awards statewide. The grant requires 25% in matching funds, potentially aided by the Wood River Business Alliance. Officials are considering either enhancing the existing downtown area or expanding it to 4th Street with decorative lighting and improved sidewalks. Previous successful streetscape projects may bolster the city's application. No official decision was made, with further details requested for review. Also in the news today, the Illinois Department of Public Health is alerting the public about the start of mosquito season, which brings the risk of West Nile virus. This year, the West Nile virus has been reported in 13 counties, though no human cases have been identified this year so far. However, last year, there were 119 cases of West Nile virus in human, along with 6 deaths. The director of the IDPH, Samir Vorha, emphasizes the importance of taking precautions like using insect repellent and eliminating standing water. The state has allocated $2.8 million for mosquito control efforts. Most infected people show no symptoms, but the virus can cause severe illness in some cases. That's a look at what's happening around the River Bend. Now let's take a look at your weather. It's 83 degrees today, and boy, is it humid. It's a warm one out there. It feels like 95 degrees already. Humidity sitting at 80%. Today, times of clouds and some spots of sun. And tonight, just humid with clearing skies, leading to a pretty calm evening. Right now, the air quality is ranked at good at 47. Grass is at moderate levels. Mold, ragweed are both low. Tree levels are moderate. And the UV index today will be extreme. Put on some sunscreen. Temperatures today reach 92 degrees today. They drop down 70 degrees overnight. Now, on Thursday, a high of 93 awaits us. A low of 70 again awaits us as we head into Friday. On Friday, a high of 95 degrees, a low of 71. And on Saturday, a high of 97 degrees, a low of 72. On Sunday, a high of 93 and a low of 68. But we have no relief in sight from this heat and humidity for the next few days. You can stay up to date in real time all the time on RiverBender.com/weather, or you could always call this number, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back. Rehab, recover, and return home. Before we take a look at Skycam and see how downtown Alton's looking, let me fill you in on my good old buddies at the Village Dispensary. If you want to find your pot of gold, of course, head on over to Village Dispensary. Their inventory is legendary, and they got a ton, whether it's vapes, flowers, topical tinctures, edibles, concentrates, and accessories to make your day a little bit more bright and a hell of a lot more elevated. The staff friendlier than you could ever imagine, and they'll have you in and out in no time. You can visit villagedispo.com to check out their latest inventory, plus great specials each and every day. You're looking at sometimes walking in there, finding a $10, $12 pre-roll or a pack of gummies for $7, and you are sitting high and mighty, quite literally, throughout the rest of the day, courtesy of your friends at the locally owned, union-built Village Dispensary. You got to check out their top quality products, and once you do, don't forget to tell them that CJ sent you over their way. That's Village Dispensary or Village Dispo, villagedispo.com. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back right after we take a look at Skycam with SSP right after this.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Under my feet, I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel the earth.
Welcome back to Our Daily Show. And it was rightfully pointed out I haven't had an energy drink yet, but that's okay. Emily and Leslie with SSP join us now. And this fraud prevention panel is really cool because there's so many times that my grandma has gotten called and said, hey, it's your grandson that's in jail. And I mean, it's a real scam that's going on, which is believable for me, but at least not very true. And now AARP sponsors this panel, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct, yes. We work with them to do about 3 or 4 presentations a year. And fraud prevention is a really hot topic. Lots of people are really asking questions about that. And it's something that, with our serving mostly older adults, it's really something we need to continue to bring to the forefront.
Well, and I'm sure that with all the advancements in technology and AI and everything else, that all of these scams are probably getting a little bit more sophisticated or just changed enough to where they're coming off as new scams or something that we might fall for.
Absolutely. And that's something they're going to talk about, too, is the current scams. What are some common scenarios that we should be looking out for? And, even if you've fallen victim to a scam, what should you do next? Because a lot of people are actually embarrassed to admit that they have.
Right.
When really the best thing you can do is just start to take action from there. Report it. Deputy Alfaro from the Madison County Sheriff's Department will be there and sharing information about what are the next steps. If you think something has happened and you've been taken advantage of, what are those next steps that you need to start working on?
Well, I could only imagine, you're right, the embarrassment with that and maybe just some of those other feelings, but if that does happen, you could help somebody else not go down that very same path. And I didn't know, did you bring any statistics around here for any type of fraud? Because it's hard to quantify.
There's so many different types. Yeah.
Well, my mom is an occupational therapist, and she's told me horror stories of when someone's very sick or maybe in that rehabilitation stage but going to go move to nursing home soon or maybe even finish out hospice when they get back or recover from a broken hip, that these folks just come out of the woodwork sometimes that are even family members and long lost best friends, and they just come in. But that's a whole nother type of fraud that and abuse.
Advantage of people when they're vulnerable, and you just don't know what's going to come at you, which is unfortunate. But I mean, they're out there.
Well, how important is it for SSP to do these types of panels and events? Because it's one thing to have just a presentation and a PowerPoint that says, here you go, here you go, here you go. But this is more of an interactive, kind of in-depth conversation that could be had, and you could ask your own questions, correct?
Yes, and we've kind of evolved. So last year we were doing a lot of presentations, one speaker. This year we've done two panels so far, and we've kind of continued to evolve them that way because we want to introduce our public to the people that they should talk to about these things, right? So your local police department, your sheriff's department, those are the people you're going to be reporting to first. And so we want to bring them into our space and introduce the public to them to make that a more comfortable interaction. But then also the next step from that is the assistant state's attorney or Scott Versman, who is the fraud and corruption section chief for the U.S. Attorney's Office. Depending on the type of scam and the fraud that's committed, these are the other people that are potentially going to be involved. And we want to make this a comfortable interaction because it is so uncomfortable to report something like this.
Well, and I don't know if this kind of goes in too much in the weeds, but if, we have a relative that's doesn't have, any type of complete debilitating factors or living on their own, but maybe there's already kind of that start of confusion, or maybe we're starting to suspect that dementia's coming into play and they're getting emails or texts from people and they're clicking on things. Can the loved ones or the caregiver of an individual stop by and be a part of the panel too?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, they can come in, they can sign up through AARP. I mean, it's open to the public. But yes, anywhere from older adults to, their family members, anybody who's interested in learning more on this topic are welcome.
I was going to say also anybody, who maybe even works at a bank or somewhere else that might be another step in helping catch fraud potentially. These are people that like the sheriff's department or your local police department would work with to identify what's going on. So anybody from the public is welcome to attend to this.
Well, and too, I just think of like even cashiers at Target and all of that with all the gift card scams where, you're going in and getting 400, gift cards that are $5 a piece or whatever that is now. That's always something good too. And now, throughout the year, are you guys going to have more fraud prevention panels, or is this going to be our only opportunity, you think, this calendar year to stop by and learn?
Yeah, right now we don't have any more planned, but we've got some other contacts that we could always bring in and expand the panel itself.
Now, you got to have a reason to go to the panel too, besides, helping you help yourselves and your loved ones, including a good meal. What's going to be served there, Leslie?
Oh, on this day, June 21st, we have chicken with gravy, glazed baby carrots and mashed potatoes, roll, drinks, of course, and dessert.
So you get a great meal while you're learning, too. I can read upside down. See, that's part of the...
You're looking over here, you knew.
Part of the talent, But I think it's great that you make it an actual event. It's not just, hey, here's something going on, you've evolved them, and it's really become a really cool opportunity, and not just learn the topic, but the people, Emily. That's Absolutely. A great point. And now, throughout it, how long is this going to run?
Yeah, so doors will open at 11 a.m. We'll start serving lunch at about 11:45, and then the presentation will start right at 12 and go till about 1 p.m.
Oh, that's nice. And now, is there going to be open discussion throughout the whole hour, or is it going to be set aside like Q&A for 15 minutes at the end?
Yeah, so the structure will be, we've got some questions for each panelist. We'll go through those, and then we'll do some Q&A, probably about 10-15 minutes at the end.
Really cool. And now, do you have any of the kind of the top discussed, fraud or any of those type FAQs or topics that you brought with you today?
Yeah, so I do kind of have the rundown of what we're going to have everybody discuss on the panel, and those are going to be, like I mentioned, the current scams, maybe some common scenarios to watch out for, what to do if you've fallen victim to a scam, who to report that to, what that looks like when you're reporting, where it goes from there, what information they might need. What are some protections and safeguards that you can put in place or that are currently in place that we might just not know about?
Right.
We've asked each of them to share an example of a past case that they have maybe worked through with someone, and then tips for protecting yourself against fraud, how to stay informed, and then any other educational resources that they might have.
Well, and now, is there a difference, and I'm putting you on the spot a little bit on that, I'm sure, but whenever it's mixed in the family with fraud, like let's say, you got the aunt or uncle that's kind of defrauding grandma. Is that in the same realm of, maybe a guy that's maybe doing some cyber fraud in terms of, credit card scams or any type of, hey, here's a virus on your computer?
So something that would be interesting, and we were here last month talking about the elder abuse.
Yeah.
So there's also that factor that we have to put into this fraud. And I know that I think the Assistant State's Attorney Courtney Lindbeck and probably Scott Bursman will both speak to this, but when the victim is a certain age, the penalties change.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think there's also a special piece in there about it being potential elder abuse, and then how they can prosecute or charge someone based on that information.
That's fascinating, because I always wondered when's the line kind of crossover. And now, if fraud doesn't really affect just older people, and that's something too. I mean, I know individuals that are 40 years old that have gotten scammed and defrauded. And now, is it in terms of maybe someone? I'm trying to find a way to phrase this. The door knockers from heavy storm periods and things where they knock on your door. Here's, $2,500, you get a new roof, you give them the $2,500, never see them again. Right. Are some of those going to be discussed too? Because that's fraud, I believe.
Yeah, and actually, so that will be discussed. Something else too we're going to do, I think it's in a month or two, is a public safety panel.
That'll be cool.
So we'll be working with local authorities like the water department, hopefully Ameren, the police department, getting everybody in to talk about when these people come to your door, what should they have? How should they prove to you that they are truly legitimate and what they are there for is a legitimate thing and not a potential fraud or scam scenario.
It's an amazing talent they have, though. They don't stop talking once they knock on your door. It's like the most amazing thing until they met me, and then it's kind of like just a smile and a keep on walking, pal, It's kind of funny. Anyway, getting back to this, how many people can you hold in SSP? Do you guys have enough room for an extended crowd?
So we have a cap at 130 for this event.
Okay.
And we do still have seats available, so we'll probably end up taking reservations up until that day of the event.
And then just call SSP for those reservations. Oh.
That'd be me.
What's the number?
So they can give me a call. Normally, I know a lot of people are probably used to being able to register through AARP or their website, but we've just made it easier this time to go ahead and give me a call. I'm on the flyer if you guys see this around. But you can give me a call at 618-465-3298, extension 123. My name is Leslie, and I can get you signed up for that.
Well, I really like that you aren't directing them to AARP or any of those, like, type in promo code 45 to sign up. Makes it easier. And now, to get the public figures and the elected officials and individuals involved in this, did it take a lot, or was it one? Because there's not a lot of opportunities for this, Emily, to really have these type of panels about fraud.
It's a collaboration. So we work with Jeff Scott at AARP Illinois. He's got connections. We've got connections. So we all kind of work together on who we want on the panel and how can we make those things happen.
That's awesome. And going forward, how many more luncheons are there going to be, or panels discussions going to be throughout the year? Do you try once a month?
We have about one a quarter, so we should have about two more. Yeah.
And the next one's going to be on public safety.
Correct.
And then do you know what the last one's going to be for the year?
The last one will be wills and powers of attorney.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, and man, okay, we got to talk about that one, because I used to do a little will and trust, like I produced the show. It was kind of interesting to hear about that and how now it's online and people just can change things whenever, and you got to be even more careful now than ever before.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
But most importantly, this fraud thing's really important, because I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, I saw the sheriff's office put out another thing about people getting defrauded, and reading news stories about it all the time. It's a huge issue, and whether or not it's your loved one going or yourself going to learn a little bit, SSP is going to make that possible. So getting back to it, you got to call 618-465-3298, extension 123 to register. And now throughout the rest of the occasion, what time does lunch start again? 11:45?
Correct.
So doors open at 11?
Correct.
You need to register before then. And then going through, again, just the overview, there's going to be a panel for about 40 minutes, 45?
Correct. Yep. Panel for 45 will have Madison County Sheriff's Department, the elderly service officer, Deputy Alfaro, the Assistant State's Attorney, Courtney Lindbeck, who's on the Elder Justice Committee, and then Scott Versman, who's the Fraud and Corruption Section Chief for the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Illinois.
That's really cool. And I don't know why I'm putting you on the spot like this, but is there any type of resources for people after they've been, scammed and frauded that maybe aren't financial resources, but just, mental support-wise too? Because there's a drain that can take on any individual, regardless of your age. Do you know if that's going to be discussed?
That's something that has been discussed in some other committees that I'm on, and we find that people are generally just too embarrassed to talk about it. So it's something that's an initiative that's kind of all on our minds, and we're working through how to make something like that happen.
I like it. That means something's getting done about that. Well, and going forward, guys, always stay tuned to SSP.SeniorServicesPlus.org. I did that wrong the last time, too. I'm remembering. It's the energy drinks that's clearing all that fog away, But seriously, stay up to date with it, because this is an important one that you and your loved ones can really help yourselves in the long run. And you have until this upcoming June 21st.
Friday. June 21st, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably have some room for walk-ins.
Okay.
Too, but give me a call just to make sure that you've got your seat.
That's what I'm trying. I mean, I want them to call you, Leslie.
Yes,
I want you to call them and be a part of it. Seriously, lunch will be served at 11:45. Get there at 11. Make sure you RSVP and just take some notes too. Is there going to be a printout or anything they can take home with them?
There will likely be some handouts.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Well, we knocked this out in about 15 minutes. How about that? Next time you see me, I will be more energized. My apologies. We'll take a little bit of a pause here. Our daily show continues right after this on RiverBender.com.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center. Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got showing.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. A little bit of change rolling around the corner. Hey, it's a Wednesday morning, and if you have a chance, really go to that SSP fraud, prevention panel, because those things are really important and information that you might not need to use it right away, but that information that you really could use if that situation ever happens, you need to know it as quickly as you can. Do a little bit of preventative maintenance, if I could talk today. And go learn about this, because it's only going to get worse, and to learn really about some of the things going on and ways that it's being combated. That's a wonderful opportunity that SSP is providing, and just really cool too. So big shout out to SSP. On this date in history, it is Juneteenth. It is the Juneteenth holiday. That's the big one. But also on this date in history, we'll just go through some of the historical events that happened on June the 19th as well. And so many of us remember this from our history books. If you're in my generation, some of you might have been around for it. On this date in 1953, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, who were convicted of conspiring to pass U.S. atomic secrets to the Soviets, are executed at Sing Sing Prison in New York. On this date in history, both refused to admit any wrongdoing and proclaimed their innocence right up to the time of their deaths by the electric chair. The Rosenbergs were the first U.S. citizens to be convicted and executed for espionage during peacetime, and their case remains controversial to this day. Julius Rosenberg was an engineer for the U.S. Army Signal Corps who was born in New York on May the 12th, 1918. His wife, Ethel, was also born in New York on September 28th and worked 1915 and worked as a secretary. The couple met as members of the Young Communist League, married in 1939, and had 2 sons. Julius Rosenberg was arrested on suspicion of espionage on June 17, 1950, and accused of heading a spy ring that passed top-secret information concerning the atomic bomb to the Soviet Union. Ethel, arrested 2 months later. The Rosenbergs were implicated by David Greenglass, Ethel's younger brother and former Army sergeant and machinist at Los Alamos, the secret atomic bomb lab in New Mexico. Greenglass, who himself had confessed to providing nuclear secrets to the Soviets through an intermediary, testified against his sister and brother-in-law in court. He later served 10 years in prison. The Rosenbergs vigorously protested their innocence, but after a brief trial on March the 6th, the day it began, and attracted much media attention, the couple convicted. And on April the 5th, 1951, a judge sentenced them to death, and the pair was taken to Sing Sing to await execution. During the next 2 years, the couple became the subject of both national and international debate. Some people believe the Rosenbergs were the victims of the surge of hysterical anti-communist feelings in the United States and protested that the death sentence was handed down as cruel and unusual punishment. Many Americans, however, believe the Rosenbergs were dealt with justly. They agreed with President Dwight Eisenhower, who issued a statement declining to invoke executive clemency for the pair, a presidential pardon. He stated, "I can only say that by immeasurably increasing the chances of atomic war, the Rosenbergs may have condemned to death tens of millions of innocent people all over the world. The execution of 2 human beings is a grave matter, but even graver is the thought of the millions of dead whose deaths may be directly attributable to what these spies have done." That was the end of the president's statement. That happened on this date in history. Also on this date in history, in 1867, Austrian Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian is installed as Emperor of Mexico by French Emperor Napoleon, is executed on the orders of Benito Juarez, the president of the Mexico Republic. That happened on this date in 1867. Also, on this date in history, the first Nickelodeon opened, not the TV platform. On this date in 1905, some 450 people attended the opening day of the world's first Nickelodeon, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the first ever movie or type of movie, and developed by the showman Harry Davis. Also on this date in history, one of the greatest and my all-time favorite, on this date in 2013, James Gandolfini, the actor best known as the New Jersey crime boss Tony Soprano, died on this date at the age of 51. Also on this date in 1970, Carole King began her career in music as a newlywed and a college graduate, working a 9-to-5 shift alongside her then-husband, Jerry Golfin, and Don Kishner's songwriting factory, Alton Music. And, well, she had her first #1 hit on this date as a performer in 1970. Let's see. Anyone else? Anything else? Other than that, the only big thing is today is the Juneteenth holiday, and we're just over there at Killian Park over the weekend, and so many of you weighed in and kind of commented and really loved the content we were providing, and it's just great to go out and be a part of the community. I mean, that Juneteenth celebration Saturday was huge. I mean, seriously big, and it was just so cool to see so many dignitaries, so many just regular, folks just like myself that are just people in the community, business owners, you name it, all coming together and just having a good time and really just enjoying the day. We have more content from Juneteenth celebration coming out at some point today and throughout the rest of the week. But if you have any other thoughts that you'd like to share, you can weigh in on the text line or you can comment them in. But that's what happened on this date in history. We'll take a quick break and we'll talk about some things that happened in music and chat for a little bit more until the 10 o'clock hour rolls around the corner. But hey, I got a quick question for you. Are you looking for solar solutions? Jason and Ryan, the duo behind Grid Solar, are here to help you, and they bring a plethora of experience and licensing certified for you and your peace of mind. Jason's certified in so many aspects of the industry, and Ryan has such a deep passion for solar. Plus, he is an expert in real estate and social service, offering that unparalleled expertise in financing and ROI, return on investment, which is a term that's pretty much being forgotten about in this day and age, but not with Grid Solar. They want you to succeed. Together, they're dedicated to making solar accessible and beneficial for everyone, whether you're interested in reducing your energy bills, enhancing sustainability, or simply investing wisely. Grid Solar LLC's got you covered. Visit gridsolarllc.com to request your free, there you go, solar design today and see how Jason and Ryan can transform your solar energy needs with cutting-edge technology. Embrace the future with Grid Solar, where expertise meets passion on both sides of the river in the Metro East. That's Grid Solar or gridsolarllc.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
But it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it right. Something inside has died and I can't hide and I just...
That was Carole King's first number one. That was 1971, by the way. I read the wrong line. 1971. There you go. And actually, what was really cool is It's Too Late, I Feel the Earth Move. Both songs were at number one and were from her million-selling Tapestry album. I mean, could you imagine just really hitting success that quick? I wouldn't know how to even act. I don't think anyone does. And I think that's when you start to do drugs, you know? I mean, because Elvis did the same thing. It's just crazy, you know? We always think, you know, what would I do with $1 billion, or what would I do with 100 million or 10 million? What would you do if about a half the country knew who you were tomorrow? You know, I know half the area knows who I am today because of the show, and it worries me. You know, it's a different thing. But to really be an overnight, or just to come out swinging out of the gate with 1 million copies of your album sold the first time around the horn, how do you act? I don't know. Just something I kind of thought about the last couple hours here. Hey, on this date in music, the former chief financial officer for Pearl Jam on this date in 2012, charged with 33 counts of theft for allegedly stealing at least $380,000 from the Seattle band's management company. According to the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, Ricky Goodrick allegedly stole hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of several years, spending the money on lavish family vacations, spa treatments, life insurance, and even some pricey California wines. That happened on this date in Who would pay $1,000 for a bottle of wine? You know, I mean, even if you have the money to do so, I could not correlate or even go, well, that makes enough sense to drop $1,000 on wine. Anyway, I don't know why. Just a rant on a Wednesday. Hey, on this date in 2011, this is sad. I saw parts of the show through that Amy Winehouse documentary, I believe. Amy Winehouse, on this date in 2011, was booed by crowds in Serbia's capital after appearing too intoxicated to perform. The concert, the first of the singer's 12-day European tour, saw Winehouse mumble, if you can call it that, her way through parts of the song, leave the stage altogether, and at one point threw the microphone to the floor. She was frequently booed by the crowd, who paid up to £45 to see her in a country in which wages are the lowest in Europe. That happened on this date in 2011, and not too much later, we know how that story ends. On this date in 2007, lawyers for Britney Spears demanded that a Florida radio station remove offensive advertisements, which featured her with the shaved head. The WFLZ billboards included slogans, total nut jobs, shock therapy, and certifiable. That's terrible. People were a lot meaner 10 years. You know, we always talk about people being hateful. We were just asses like 20 years ago. I mean, that's terrible. That's not cool. Which ran across pictures of the bald Britney Spears. Law firm Lavley & Singer demanded the immediate removal of the banners. In a letter to the station, Spears was photographed shaving her own head in a California hair salon earlier in the year, but that's why, they ran the billboard. But what did it have to do with the station? You know, if it ties in, I get it, but I don't know. I wish I could have seen those billboards. On this date in 2006, Taylor Swift debuted her, debut single, Tim McGraw, as the lead single from her self-titled debut album. The track peaked at number 40 on the Billboard Hot 100, and I stopped caring ever since. Also in the news today, I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, I'll keep moving. Let's see. On this date in 1973, Edgar Winter's U.S. #1 hit, Frankenstein, was awarded gold. Winter named the song because of how many cuts and patches were contained in the original studio tape. That's interesting. And on this date in 1971, I just played it for you, that 5-week run at #1 It's Too Late, I Feel the Earth Move. Both songs were from Carole King's million-selling Tapestry album. The Rolling Stones scored their 7th UK #1 hit on this date in 1968 when Jumpin' Jack Flash hit the top of the charts. Keith Richards stated that he and Jagger wrote the lyrics while staying at Richards' country home, where they were awoken one morning by the sound of gardener Jack Dyer walking past the window. When Jagger asked what that noise was, Richards responded, "Oh, that's Jack. That's Jumpin' Jack." There you go. Isn't that why I love those stories? On this date in 1968. In 1967, Paul McCartney, having admitted to taking LSD 4 times during an interview with Life magazine, told the Daily Mirror that he did not regret that he had spoken out and hoped that fans would understand. Have you ever seen the Dewey Cox movie? You know what I'm talking about? You know, you don't want none of this stuff, Dewey. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it was a spoof on Walk the Line, which is Walk the Line is actually like one of the best movies of the 2000s as far as I'm concerned. But Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, where they go and he's with the Beatles in India doing all the... It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's an excellent piece of cinema. On this... On this date in 1965, the Four Tops went to #1 on the U.S. singles chart with I Can't Help Myself. Lead singer Levi Stubbs had not been satisfied with the recording session and promised that he could do it again the following day, but no other session ever took place. Didn't matter. The track became a hit was just the second take of the song. The second take is the one that gets it done and sends you to #1. How about that? I love it. Also, on this date in history, Martha and the Vandellas recorded one of Motown's signature songs, Dancing in the Street at Hitsville, USA, in Detroit, Michigan. Written by Marvin Gaye, Mickey Stevenson, and Ivy Jo Hunter, the song reached #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and #4 in the UK. Many artists have covered the song, including the Grateful Dead, Little Richard, David Bowie, Mick Jagger, the Kinks, and the Mamas and the Papas. In 1928, Tommy DeVito, Danny's cousin, no, I don't know if they're related, from American rock and pop band The Four Seasons, had the 1960s hits Sherry, Big Girls Don't Cry, Walk Like a Man, and, of course, the 1976 UK and US #1 single, Oh, What a Night, December 1963. They are one of the best musical groups of all time. And born on this date in 1928, he passed away at the age of 92 after contracting COVID in September of 2020. Born on this date in history, oh man, I got to get some Paula back on this soundboard. Paula Abdul, the American singer-songwriter, actress, dancer, and drunk music show judge, is born on this date in 1963. The 1990 U.S. #1, UK #2 opposites attract, plus 5 others. U.S. #1 singles. I didn't realize she had 5. Huh. Her 1989 album, Forever Your Girl, spent 10 weeks at the top of the U.S. charts and, of course, became the "You're good, you're wonderful" judge on American Idol, born on this date. All right, also born on this date. Any good ones? That's about does it. There you go. There you go. On this date in music, too. Hey, before I take a quick pause, are you looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery? A life free from addictions possible, and it starts with our friends at Centerstone. Centerstone truly is a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages, and I love having them a part of our team. You know, Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs, meaning the recovery care plan is developed for you based on the latest science. Listen, there's so many unknowns on this road to recovery, folks, but one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be that constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. They aren't just going to hand you a sheet of paper and say good luck. They're going to be your teammate, and that's what I think is very important. Addiction can happen to anybody. I mean, it's 2024. We all know somebody going through the battle of a lifetime. But the good thing is, so can recovery. Recovery can happen. It does happen, and it happens at Centerstone all the time. So start working toward your recovery journey today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org, recoverwithus.org, or by calling 1-877-HOPE. 123. A quick break. We come back with more of our daily show right after this.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center. Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got showing.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Little Bee Gees for you. How about that? 9:53. Welcome back. Hey, wanted to fill you in. There are a few things happening today and tomorrow in case you and the family need to go out and find something to do. Make sure you sign up for your RiverBender.com account. This is something this is weird. Number one, I have time to talk to you today. Normally we have so many guests, I kind of got to just keep moving. But today, I get to tell you, there's been some changes, if you haven't noticed, to your RiverBender.com account. So many of you already have your free account where you put your email address in, you create your own password just like a Facebook or anything else. And what you notice is, here, let me show you. So, hold on here. Load for me. Let me show you something here. So, now I'm signed into my RiverBender.com account. This is what I think is really cool. If you are on your phone, on the mobile version of the app, and you sign in and you hit on home, well, guess what happens? They give you recommended stories. And it's what Mike's doing upstairs is so cool because he's creating a hub. And no one's really talked about it, but it's amazing. I mean, so many of us have our own interests, whether or not you love high school sports, and there's so many of you that do, and I think it's wonderful that you support these teams and you want to keep up on all those scores. Well, when you sign in to your account and you go to the homepage of RiverBender on your phone, you're going to see that recommended for you are sports stories, or recommended for you or is the Play It Again scoreboard, or any other opportunity that kind of goes into your interest. They're tailor-made for you because, listen, we produce a lot of content here for a team of less than 10 in to produce what we're doing. I mean, you'd think that we're the New York Times, but it's just how hard we work. So there's so many things coming out on Riverbender that this way it kind of eliminates some of the things you don't really care to see, like maybe you don't care about crime reports or things like that, or any type of those details. You won't see them as much. You'll see the stories that you want. All you got to do is click on, log in, or if you have never created a RiverBender.com account, hit sign up. It's literally free, and you're going to be truly involved in your community and daily dose of local once you're in there and connected. I mean, there's so many benefits. What I think's really cool, too, and I'm going to show you this, which I just think is amazing, and it's kind of my live read for the end of the hour, but... What I think's cool, too, is, let me show you my screen here, folks, because we got some time to play with, is the fact that if you're a business owner, okay, if, let's say you just started, I've been in that position. I used to have a business, and I partnered it off and got on down the road because I was a party animal, and I was my own worst enemy. Everyone knows that. But if I would have had some of these tools, it would have made it a lot easier. So let's say you, have, I don't know, a grand opening coming up. Post an event article. So what you can do is you can utilize some of this really cool features, like list a rental property, create a yard sale ad. Even more so is whenever you can utilize our AI features too, which is on the business section. So if you have a business and you sign up for your account, what I think is really cool too is the fact that, I don't know, you can create press releases, you can create blog posts with our wonderful algorithm that Mike created in-house in that office right here in the 618. They didn't pay somebody overseas and say, hey, can we use your software so we can sell it to our town? We did it ourselves. And Mike has just been really masterful when it comes to AI, been up to date on it from the moment it was starting to roll out a couple years ago, and really creating this amazing hub and resource center for all of you. What I love, if you guys have used chat at any point in time, is it's kind of broken down by token. You aren't going to have to pay a monthly subscription to kind of keep your AI use going. If you only need to use it 4 or 5 times a year, you pay for those tokens, you're good to go. Now, if you love it and you're going, man, this is saving me an hour or 2 hours of my life every day by creating these social media posts, by creating these blog posts, by creating these event listings, by creating anything you really could think of, it's amazing. And you're going to keep using it more and more. It's one of those things that really I love being here on this team, because it's not a cookie cutter company where we're calling Acme Software Solutions and going, hey, we really want to start doing this, but we don't know how. So can we pay you and then we partner up and we provide your service? No, we don't do that. We're all in-house. We're truly that daily dose of local. So if you're a business and you want to start using those AI features, sign up your business account, create it, utilize it, and help yourself courtesy of your daily dose of local without breaking the bank. And I just think that's the coolest thing. So if you have that or any event coming up, you can create it, put it right there on the calendar, create your event. Now, if you want to get the word out, there's options to promote it even further, but that's what we do here for all of you guys, and just wanted to make sure you were aware of it. So with that being said, more conversations coming down the pipeline. We're going to be talking to the organizers of the Mississippi River Festival here in about 30 minutes or so, and then we'll keep on moving on this Wednesday morning. At 9:58 and a little bit of change, let's take care of a little bit of business, and let's talk about Alton Little Theater. Oliver is coming up in just a few short weeks, and this is a really great event. You know, Oliver is one of those tried and true plays and musicals that really kind of just brings you back and brings you that little bit of nostalgia. What I think's even cooler about this too is that the performers are all coming together, young and old, and putting on this performance that's going to be amazing. Now, you have a couple of months to prepare for this, but you need to get your season tickets. Here's why. Oliver starts August the 2nd, so that's under 2 months away, and it runs until August the 11th. But let me just fill you in on some of the things coming down the pipeline. You got Making God Laugh, A Christmas Carol, The X's, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, Women of a Certain Age, plus there's more. Over here, you got Oliver again coming up in August, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Best of the Best Broadway, The Front Porch, the Haunted Window, Haunted Widow Lincoln. Those are 5 performances I just listed off, plus another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 performances total, plus more if you get that season ticket for just $89. Oh, yeah. You try to find $89 season tickets with 10 shows included, and you give me a call and you tell me what you got to think, but you won't. So you go to altonlittletheater.org, get your season tickets, celebrate the 91st season of our Little Theater, the oldest in the state of Illinois, most continuous in the state of Illinois, and one of the oldest, most continuous in the country, a true gem that we have here in the city of Alton. AltonLittleTheater.org, or call the box office 618-462-3205. Top of the hour news hits you in the nose next.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
I've been trying to find this damn Carpenter song all day on this board. That's why I got distracted. Sorry. Welcome back. 10:05. Roku TV, RiverBender.com, anywhere, everywhere you watch this show. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'm out of breath today. So I'm excited. Today I'm going to be I'm getting caught up on the world. You know, before I do news, I don't know about you guys, but this has been one of the busiest stretches I think we've had here at Riverbender in quite some time, since January. I mean, not like a couple of weeks. It's just been nonstop. And Metro East Humane Society, I am going to MC your event. I forgot to send you an email, and I'm going to do that too today. A lot of those things I'm going to catch up on, and you know what? I just think it's cool that you all think of me and want me to be a part of things, and all I've ever wanted is to be a part of this community, and I feel like at this stage in the game I am, and just thank you to all of you that reach out and want me to be a part of your events in some way, shape, or form. It's really cool. At 9 at 10:00, I feel like McGraw over there. At 10:00, I'm gonna get in trouble. At 10:06, here's what's happening around the River Bend. Freer Auto Body, spearheaded by Margaret Freer, is preparing its annual Christmas in July raffle to benefit the Community Christmas campaign, one of my very favorites. It's scheduled for Friday, July the 26th, from 10:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. at 4512 North Albee Street in Godfrey. The event features Sloppy Joes for dine-in or carry-out, and raffle tickets are priced at just $10 a piece, with prizes including $3,000 in cash, $1,000, also vacation stays in Florida, and a really cool condo in there too. You want the Destin, Florida condo, I'm telling you, and the night stays in Montana, and so many others. Panama City Beach. There's a ton of different travel options. Last year, nearly $57,000 was raised locally, and tickets are available at Freer Auto Body, or one of the many individuals that are preparing or helping contribute to the event in terms of being ticket salespeople. I happen to be one of those individuals. You can contact me at CJ@RiverBender.com. That's CJ, the letters C and J, at RiverBender.com. Send me an email, how many you want. Tell me when you're picking them up from the office, and we'll take care of you there. I just love Community Christmas. I love what they're doing at Freer Auto Body. And you can also stop in at Freer Auto Body and pick up some too if you're on your way home, or reach out to them on Facebook and their social media channels. Also in the news today, despite the predictions of soaring temperatures in the high 90s by the afternoon, the dedicated volunteers from Alton Main Street yet again gathered on Tuesday, June the 18th, to mulch flower beds in the calm of the morning. The individuals and other volunteers are responsible for maintaining 25 flower beds in downtown Alton, ensuring the area remains fresh and vibrant. Christine Favilla, a volunteer deeply involved in the Sierra Club, expressed her gratitude for the volunteers who joined her, and noted that the weather turned out to be lovely despite the high temperature forecast for the afternoon. As they weeded and mulched the gardens, the volunteers enjoyed a slight breeze, providing some comfort during their tasks. Favilla took pride in the collective effort, highlighting the multiple days each month are dedicated to tending these flower beds, and kudos to Alton Main Street from all of us here at RiverBender.com for beautifying that downtown corridor. Also in the news today, for Shelley Israel, cutting hair has been a passion for the last 15 years, and this past May, her dream became a reality when she opened Pete's Parlor Barbershop at 13 East Ferguson Avenue in Wood River. 15 years ago, Israel was working at a corporate job that was bought out by another company. Seeking a career that couldn't be taken away from her, she decided to pursue haircutting. It's been going well since I opened Pete's Parlor, she said. She continues, we are gaining clientele through word of mouth. The barbershop offers haircuts, hair washes, towel treatments, and is open Tuesday through Saturday. Appointments can be made by calling 618-216-2178. Finally, in the news this morning, a new Brighton Betsy Ann Fire Protection District Station at 105 Myrtle Street in Brighton is nearing completion, and here's what we know. The expected conclusion between July 19th and the 20th, Chief Jason Bowman expressed pride in the new station and its impact on his all-volunteer team. The facility aims to meet the growing needs of the department, which covers 67 square miles, and Bowman highlighted the department's equipment expansion necessitating more space. He also praised the fire agency's board of trustees for their vision and financial planning. An open house will be scheduled post-completion to introduce the new facility to the community. Let's take a look at your weather forecast today. It's 10:10. It's 86 degrees. It feels like 148 out there. Actually, it feels like 94 degrees, but it sounded better. 86 degrees. It feels like 94 degrees out there. Humidity at 57%. The visibility, Brian Trust, 12 miles. And today, times of clouds and sun. Tonight, humid and just calm. It's going to be warm and hot, so keep note of that. Air quality is ranked at moderate. Grass levels are moderate. Mold and ragweed are both low today. Tree levels moderate, and the UV index is ranked as at extreme. So if you go outside for an extended period, or you work out in the yard or do outside activity, put on some darn sunscreen today. Temperatures reach 94 degrees today, drop down to 69 overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a high of 95 awaits us and a low of 70 will hit us as we go into Thursday night and head into Friday morning. On Friday, the 21st, a high of 95, a low of 71 degrees. And on Saturday, this is the warm one, a high of 97 degrees, a low of 73. If you guys are going out to the boat races, make sure that you bring enough money or cash or whatever to keep you hydrated throughout the day, because even though you're having fun, the heat and all the elements will get to you at some point in time, so stay hydrated on Saturday. On Sunday, a 40% chance of rain, a high of 94 and a low of 68. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. It's 86 degrees at 1012, and that's a look at your RiverBender.com weather report. Hey, before we take a look at downtown Alton and I fill you in on Skycam and we take just a little bit of a peek and a gander, let me fill you in on Haug Orthodontics. You know, there's nothing more nerve-wracking as a child than to talk braces, right? Because that smile means a lot in middle school, means a lot in high school, and could do so much and so many wonders for your child's self-confidence. You know, the problem is that you have these online companies now that are saying, hey, we can make you an Invisalign and send it to your house in 2 weeks and you're taken care of for $10. Can you really trust that? Probably not. And you know who I always trust is Dr. Haug at Haug Orthodontics, someone who's been tried and true in this area for over a decade, and they're ready to help you help yourself. You know, when it comes to orthodontics, you need somebody that's going to be transparent with you, that's going to give you those options, that's going to take you through the process. But you don't want somebody that's just going to say, all right, here's what we're doing, and you're good to go. You want to have that consultation, and you know, you want to create an unforgettable smile. There's only one woman to call, and that's Dr. Kimberly Haug. All you have to do is go to unforgettablesmiles.net, see the work they do. There's a reason that Miss Missouri was a patient of Dr. Haug, and it's because the work's fantastic, the atmosphere that is in the office, wonderful, and when you work with Dr. Haug, you know that you're working with the best. You can go to unforgettablesmiles.net. That's unforgettablesmiles.net to learn more about their Invisalign options or other services they provide, and once you go in the door, just tell them that CJ and Riverbender sent you over their way. Why don't we do this? Let's take a quick little pause here, and we'll come back with more of our daily show right after this on Riverbender.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
I knew we had this article somewhere. This is what I was trying to find during the history segment here. Hold on. Hang loose. On June the 19th, 1865, a monumental moment in American history unfolded as Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced the end of slavery. This day, now celebrated as Juneteenth, marked the final enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation 2.5 years after it was issued by President Abraham Lincoln. Juneteenth has now since become a symbol of freedom in African American culture, celebrated with festivities throughout the country. Also, a couple of other notes of historic significance. Meanwhile, June the 19th, the U.S. Senate passed the Civil Rights Act, a landmark legislation that aimed to end segregation in public places and banned employment discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. The pivotal law played a crucial role in the civil rights movement and paved the way for greater equality and justice in American society. In sports, another golden moment. This was one that's celebrated still to this day. The U.S. women's national team defeated China in a heart-stopping penalty shootout to win the FIFA Women's World Cup. The victory was a big one and still celebrated to this day. Also, on this date in history, St. Louis hosted the World's Fair, also known as the Louisiana Purchase Exposition. Did not know that. The grand event showcased innovation and cultures from around the globe, including the first Olympic Games held in the United States. The fair left a legacy on the city with landmarks in the Art Museum and, of course, that iconic Forest Park. Also, one final one for you sports fans today. And this was in 2009 when Albert Pujols hit his 300th career home run as a St. Louis Cardinal. The milestone, well, it solidified Pujols' status as one of the greatest baseball players of all time and brought immense pride to the city's baseball fans. And then fast forward, 11 years later, and Albert Pujols hits number 700 at Dodger Stadium with the St. Louis Cardinals. That's pretty darn cool. Anyway, wanted to fill you in on those because I knew we had this article and I was going to use it for the history and then just kind of lost it there, which is pretty normal for me. But also it gives me an opportunity to tell you that Lacey McDonald joined us at RiverBender.com to write weekly historical articles about things that happened in the city of Alton. And what I think is really cool about this is we aren't just getting somebody who knows a little bit about history. Lacey McDonald is one of the best in the area, and what she's done at the Genealogy and Local History Library for Hainer is just incredible. So to have her a part of the team, we're so blessed and so excited. And every Wednesday, we'll be chatting with Lacey about the articles she writes, kind of like what we do with Sydney with Blog Talk. I think it's a really cool way for us to kind of let the hair down a bit, have some fun, and keep the show moving. So what I think's great is if you have time, we're going to have a set time for Lacey every Wednesday, but I think we're going to be able to do like a 9:45 next Wednesday. But if you really want to get some in-depth conversation and knowledge on some of the things that happened in the Alton area, tune into those segments, read Lacey's articles. The next one she wrote, or his writing, is about smallpox. And we were talking during the segment, and what I thought was really cool, we were talking and I just immediately thought of the first time, I learned about what they were doing. I was watching the John Adams show with my dad in the basement I was like maybe 10 years old. And I remember the scene where they're on the cart and he's going out and he's cutting open one of the smallpox sores off of someone who's very sick or actively dying from smallpox, and they bring it in and they cut open the individual and I couldn't believe it. And I remember talking to him going, what are they doing? And he explained a little bit to me what it was. And now we were just talking about that during the segment, and Lacey's writing about it this next week, and it's going to be a great conversation. So tune in, be a part of it, and just kind of keep learning with me. We're going to be talking all things Mississippi River Festival here in a couple of minutes. Always good to meet some new friends of the show. And just having some fun. They're going to be joining us here in a couple of minutes, but really cool. And the fact that I give all the always will give props to somebody who's trying something and trying to revive it, and I love it. I think this is a great weekend for Alton, and we'll have some fun this weekend. So we're going to get the organizers down here in about 6 minutes. We're going to learn how the event came to be again and how it was revived, how much work went into finding the musical acts, how many tickets are remaining, and ways that you can get your hands on them. But before I take a quick break, I'd be remiss. We just talked about Hainer. Let me fill you in a little bit more. And I just really cannot say enough about Hainer Library. You know, one of the show's biggest supporters, we can't be successful without our anchor segments. I mean, when you have organizations like Hainer Library, Alton Little Theater, Denise, I mean, I can go on and on. We have about, you hear me talk about 12 different businesses a day. I'm getting the McGraw numbers, you know, over here on this show with live reads. The reason being is Hainer Library, they have a commitment to their community. They have a commitment to making sure they can truly be that door for you, that door for adventure, that door to knowing, that door to unlocking protections for your resources, like those resource consumer guides, and the door to history, the door to your family's history in the genealogy and local history department, the door to creativeness, like the Creative Bug app that you get for free with your Hainer Library card. Plus, what I think's even cooler too is you get ad-free for free streaming with your free Hainer Library card, and so many more other opportunities await you with your, again, free library card. Now, on the first and last Monday of the month, Mary Cordes joins us, and we talk about all the events and things coming down the pipeline for the library district. And now weekly with Lacey McDonald, we talk about Alton's history with the power of the genealogy and local history department, and being led by Lacey. A great partnership. HainerLibrary.org. Click on the How Do I tab. Click on the Get a Library Card. Click on your address option, put it in, get your free card, thank me later, and use it for the Library of Things, the Seed Library, and all the other innovations that Hainer's providing. HainerLibrary.org, and don't forget to tell them that Riverbender sent you over their way.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
We are days away from the return, the revival of the Mississippi River Festival. We got Zach and Nick in the studio, and I can only imagine this is where you're just the most calm that you've ever been.
You're actually not too far
Really?
off. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause
Okay.
there's just so much stuff to do. Like,
Yeah.
there's always the next thing.
Right.
And so there's no time to worry or be stressed.
And the comfort in that too is like the months leading up to this have just been go, go, go.
Mhm.
So now it's just execute. Like there's no more guesswork or thinking involved. It's just like, all right, we just got to execute now.
Like
And
all the
it's-
logistics, like everything is like, delivery times
Yeah.
are on. Everybody that has their jobs and everybody's on the same page. And man, people like in city, rivers and routes, they've all been excellent, like ahead of schedule. Like I'll take something to like Lindsay and Mike in the Parks Department, and they're 10 steps ahead.
Oh,
of me.
she's
Like,
badass.
they're
Yeah, she does
they're,
a good job.
Ready to go. And so, man, it's just been so cool to have that comfort of people we can count on that are ahead of us. And man, it's just great. So. But yeah, luckily there's not a lot of time to be stressed at the moment.
So I gotta find this out. When I know that the conversation has probably been had a time or two for years about doing a festival down on the riverfront. When was the conversation really had of let's revive the MRF? Can this happen? How do we do it? When did that start to come into play and that process start?
Zach sort of had been charged with stewarding the name is kind of how we like to describe it. We were just like, all right, we've got this name of this legendary festival, and we knew that, with it being in hiatus for 44 years, it was going to take very careful consideration, planning to do it and to do it well. And so Zach and I from the beginning, like when Zach roped myself and a few others into this, we said, let's just become historians first. Yeah. So we read Mark Pierce's book. We read the book that SIUE with the publishing house put out a few years ago, and then started to talk to people who went to the original festival and just found out what made that 11-year period so special. And they had a lot of things working for them, right? It was a special time in the late 60s and
Right,
70s for
right.
music where you could see these, revolutionary acts happening right in front of your eyes. And that's a lot of people's childhoods. It's a lot of people's formative years seeing these bands. And so we're like, okay, if we're going to take the leap and do something like this, we're not going to do it without, as much as we possibly can, like fully feeling the festival. And so like for about a year and a half straight, we just had those conversations, educated ourselves, talked to Lyle Ward, who's the original festival director, and just hearing his stories directly, we knew that that was a really special thing for people. So our thought was, okay, how can we honor that 11-year history and not let people think that, hey, we're trying to steal your festival or we're trying to, we're trying to replicate it, because we cannot. But it would be a shame if those memories just sort of fizzled out as time went on. So the way we kind of saw it's like we either just kind of celebrate this from a very distant place, or we take the initiative to let's do something special for a new generation of music lovers. So this festival we've been planning for about a year and a half, and many ups and downs with that from
all over the place. Like from conception of like, hey, we want to bring this back. We're like, and we got no direction on what that was supposed to be. So we're like, can we get like a ballpark budget? Like, what's the...
That'd be important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really important. And unfortunately, we didn't have that to work with in the beginning. So we're pitching like big $1 million budget. We're pitching $10,000 budget. Like we're doing the whole scope of possibility of what we think we could pull off, as well, you know, all while keeping the history aspect and honoring the legacy and of excellence and what's people hold in their hearts is true and special, like honoring that. So just like, however big or small the idea, we're like, how do we make this special in that regard? And so eventually, just over time, after like, man, it got canned, then it's back on, then it's like, it's this, and then it's 2 small events, and then now once we found out about the grant with the city, it's like, man, we could pull off a beautiful 3-way partnership with Rex Productions, Great Rivers and Routes, and the city of Alton. And just kind of, you know, get it, you know, bring people together with music and make something special. And so once that came up, we're like, oh, this puts an accelerated timeline on whatever we were thinking. This adds a little bit of money, a significant amount of money to our budget. And so that gave us, we finally honed it like 3 months ago. Is essentially when we got honed in on a final budget of what we could work inside.
And when it was final approval.
Oh my God. So that is really eye-opening for me because, you know, everyone that comments, you know, because we all live in this world and I get killed every day we put out a video of mine, but it's just, no one realizes the ins and outs of putting on an event. I've never done music, but even being a part of pro wrestling like I've been, it's a nightmare because there's so many ins and outs, but to not know your budget until 3 months ago and to get this put on is pretty damn impressive.
Well, not even just the budget. We didn't even know if the festival was happening.
Whoa!
So with this grant approval, we put, you know, a plan in motion and presented it to the parties that needed to see it, and then it had to be voted upon and approved. So, and again, to your point, people just have no idea like how intensive planning this is, and so when people comment, I'm like, I just want to reach there. But you know, when it comes to booking music at this level, you really want to be 12 to 16 months.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay.
And so to get the lineup that we did, which we are over the moon about in that amount of time, is pretty awesome. And I don't mean to like pat ourselves on the back or whatever, but we've been working our tails off to do something cool for the city and to have a Grammy Award-winning band in Larkin Poe, Tyler Bryant the Shakedown, who's toured with Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, Fastball, had massive hits in the 90s, and then our buddies in Feel, who are about to announce a huge tour in the fall, are you know, working with some Nashville labels and things like that. To have that caliber of musicianship on the stage in Alton is a dream.
Well, and what I think's really cool, next year Greta Van Fleet's on my wish list, but you know,
we'll write it down.
Yeah, just write it down.
Just a cool 1.4 million.
Yeah, just go ahead and throw that out there and float it.
Tickets will be $350.
Or we could just have one of you write us a check for 1.7 and we can profit off of this.
Let's make it happen.
But you know what I think's cool is it's really unique for the community in the region because at the riverfront this year you're having a combination of great music. I mean, you got McCreary coming in August 9th, which is a great kind of supplement and country music, but then to start off with some this type of music with Larkin Poe, who's wonderful, and then Fastball, who's been, you know, like you said, that has all these hits, and Tyler Bryant the Shakedown. You have an actual palette of music for the summer, and I think that's a really cool starting point and something to build upon for next year and the years that follow too.
And our goal with the MRF, though we're, you know, our own entity, partnering with the city and with Rivers and Routes, our goal is to do our part in bringing attention to Alton, the music scene, and what's happening. And our hope is that sort of ripples out, and it's like, oh, we can continue to do things. I mean, there's amazing festivals that happen all year long, like the Rock the Hops Festival, Mississippi Earth Tones, like all these super cool things that happen throughout the year. It's like, well, if we can do our part of bringing national attention and stuff to the riverfront, I'm hoping that people are like, man, that town of Alton was awesome. I'm going to come back and check out these other things too. And then, even looking forward to next year. Like, Zach and I are dreamers at heart. So we're thinking 5-10 years down the road about, okay, how can we bring, you know, even bigger names to there, but also how can we make sure that local bands have a spot on our stage as well? Because that's what the MRF was about. It was about just arts in general, even down to how they designed the tent. It was very intentionally done. The acoustics of the sound system, the stage design, the art displays on the festival grounds. It was this whole display of like 360 of art. So even some of the public art displays that we've done with the mural we did over off of Broadway, we just put up some posters on the old Telegraph building over there. We've got Michael Snyder coming down.
Cool verse, buddy.
To put an art display on the festival grounds. This is only what we were able to do within those 3 months.
Yeah.
Next year, my goodness.
Have you seen Michael Snyder's radio tower?
Not the radio tower.
Oh my God! It's gonna blow your mind.
Is it really cool? I love the kaleidoscope. That's badass.
Yeah, we'll have the kaleidoscope. We'll have his new radio tower piece, and then a new water feature where it's like
That's
it's like
cool.
a water. It's a water pump waterfall that turns an old
like a gramophone.
Gramophone. Like it's wild, but it's like beautiful and conceptual. Like it's busy, but it's also like it's tasteful. It's wild.
He is really cool. We had a great
Insane.
talk because I always forget the damn guy's name, but he started City Museum. And and because I used to do the night show with Ray Hartman across the river and did a couple hours with him, and that's how we started talking. Bob Castle Castley.
Okay. Michael used to work there.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And just to hear his stories working with him, and I mean to have that in Alton at our disposal is wonderful.
Yeah.
I got to ask you this. Do you think we're in a renaissance in Alton? Because I kind of think we're in the middle of one. We have so many talented artists, whether or not it's musicians to people who paint or draw or do crafts. We have so much of that. And I think to capitalize on that, like you guys are doing with having some of those pieces from Michael Snyder out there, it kind of ties that all in. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because you're really involved in the scene more than I am.
When I moved here in 2020, and it was right around the time of the small business revolution.
Oh, yeah.
Alton Works getting started, and just all these really powerful things happening in the city. And I just came in here, and I've been a musician for 10 years and toured and did all that. So when I moved to Alton, I was like, oh my gosh, like what a city primed for beautiful things to happen. And I don't want to like discredit the stuff that has happened, decades ago. Right. Even one of the bands that's playing at the after party, Autumn Clock, I hear stories of them playing in the 90s, and it was like the coolest thing ever. So I think in a way, there's been this movement that's been happening here for decades. There's always been this like undertone of creativity and art. And so moving here and getting to kind of see that, I was like, gosh, I just want people to dream again. And maybe they do in their own ways. And I'm not saying that like we're the saviors of that.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think that people have way more capacity than what they think they do. And there's like kind of this tension between this cool local thing that we've got want to keep for ourselves, but at the same time, this level of musicianship, craftsmanship, artistic expression deserves recognition from more eyes than just our own. And so like even like Michael Snyder, mind blowing. I think anyone in the whole world would see his art and go, that's special, that's cool. I think anyone who goes to see a show at the conservatory on a random Friday night would be like, that's awesome. Conservatory, to my knowledge, is the only venue that does original music anywhere from 2 to 3 nights a week in the St. Louis region. That's phenomenal, and it's in our backyard. So yes, and then of course the landscape of the river. Like you don't really get that in St. Louis or anywhere else. It's a great place for artists to live, to work, and the resources in the community here are exceptional.
What I think is really cool is the fact that you guys researched the event first, because I mean, because you look through comments, it's not going to be the same, and it's like, well, no, but
that's why we had to. That's why we had to. Like we have to. Like if we're ever going to talk to those people one-on-one, and that's what we found. Like, people are going to comment online as freely as they want all the time. You know how that works. Everybody does.
They got tinfoil on their heads.
It sucks. But we'll find ourselves running into folks that have those things to say in person. Usually they're a little bit more ginger with their words.
I bet they are.
Zach's also 6'3".
It does help that Zach could hit you. You know.
He won't though.
I won't. I'm a sweet.
They just say mean stuff to me all the time. You know, I'm 5'7".
So they'll bring those concerns to you in person, and it usually doesn't take long after hearing our hearts and hearing from the horse's mouth that we're like, man, we've studied, we weren't there, but man, we understand it, and that's what we want for our generation. Is that feeling you have in your heart for your thing, your Mississippi River Festival. That's what we want for our generation. We love music, we love the arts, we love people, just as much as you did back in the 70s.
Right.
And we believe that we need that today, and we can pull that off today. Obviously, different parameters, but that same feeling in the heart is what we're trying to give to people who show up on Saturday.
And the biggest endorsement from Lyle Ward, who was one of like the founding
pioneers
members of the along with the president at the time, the St. Louis Symphony, in those initial conversations, him saying to us directly how excited he is about this, that some entity is going to preserve this festival long after everyone's gone. He says, this is what I've been hoping for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And so literally from the guy who started it saying that he's excited that there is this reemergence of it. It's like, I don't know what you can argue at
that's a good point.
Because the guy who gave you all of those memories back in them, he's saying he's excited about this. And people talking, people chirping. We've had multiple instances of just having a genuine human conversation with them, not behind a keyboard and saying, hey, I hear your concerns. They're valid. I promise I'm not trying to steal or take your childhood, but I want to tell my kids about what we're doing here in Alton. And then be able to say, also, have you ever listened to Janis Joplin? Oh, yeah, she played at the same festival back in the 70s. It was at SIUE, but same heritage, same festival. It's
go down the gauntlet of that conversation too. I mean, really cool stuff. Hey, you got a moment to stick around? I got to pay a bill. Let me fill you in on Denise Sparks. Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. I love Denise. You know her? She decided that she was, for 30 years, she hauled junk. She was the queen of junk, demos. If you had rental property,
she'd go. The queen of junk.
Yeah.
You know her face on the dumpster. The purple dumpsters.
Exactly.
Oh, Gina.
Well, a year ago, she called me. She said, I'm taking on the big boys here in Alton. I can't deal with this trash company no more.
Yeah.
So she started weekly trash service, and those purple and yellow trash cans popping up, mating like bunny rabbits all across the 618. You know why? It's because she answers the damn phone.
I love that.
It's not a call center. You know, I called Pizza Hut and I got directed to a call center for my pizza. Did you know that's possible now?
unbelievable.
Yeah, and insane. Not with Denise Sparks. That local community touch is what we all missed and what Denise is giving us each and every time we go to sparksjunkremoval.net or give her a call. Whether or not you need her for weekly trash pickup in service areas like Bethalto, Morrow, Brighton, you name it, Godfrey, Elsa, Grafton, except for the city of Alton, but we're going to change your mind here soon, city of Alton. You can call Denise Sparks now. What I think's cool, you know, when you get older, you don't want to leave your house. You don't want to go to a nursing home. You try to just want to be where you're at and be happy. But mobility stuff happens and you can't pick things up. Denise's team will go into your mother, your father, your grandparents' homes, pick up the trash out of the trash can, take it down in the bin for them, and do valet trash service so they can help make your days today a little bit easier. SparksJunkRemoval.net and start your journey with the Queen of Junk today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center. Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Drink
good. You know, I bet you he probably wouldn't show up or be drunk. I've heard some horror stories about booking Hank Williams Jr.
There's stories about Nashville. So like on Broadway, you know, you got the main drag there, and then the original Ryman Auditorium, right, is the Ryman Auditorium is right behind Tootsie's there, and they call it George Jones Alley back there because like George Jones and Waylon would go back there and smoke cigarettes and because you couldn't drink inside the Ryman, so it's pretty. Not a lot of people know about that alley, right?
That's actually pretty darn cool.
I got a picture of Zach back behind that alley, hanging out like he's.
It's a pretty cool.
Freaking Waylon Jennings, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
So at this point in time, are tickets still available online to purchase? Is there a cutoff point?
No, you can purchase tickets online all the way up to day of event, and then we will have a box office on the amphitheater grounds. So F1 fans, if you want to stick around and see a music festival, you can purchase tickets right there on the site. General admission starts at $25, plenty of those available, and then we have reserved and VIP packages available for folks who want a seat with their name on it.
That's cool. And now let's talk about the breakdown, just for folks that are cut, because there's a lot going on the riverfront this weekend. What time should they expect to start going into the grounds or going into that amphitheater portion of the riverfront?
Yeah. Sure. Well, the gates open at 5, and we're anticipating the F1 boat race is being done right about that same time.
Gotcha.
It might run over a little bit, but whenever they're done, that's whenever we'll open up the gates and make our changeover. And what was the rest of the question?
Well, F1 racing starts Friday, around like 10, 11 o'clock or so, and that's kind of some time trials, drivers getting used to the water. But fans are welcome to come hang out that. So they'll be racing all day Friday, and then Saturday morning they're starting as early as like 8 o'clock down there. And so they're racing all day, all the way up till 5 o'clock. Amphitheater, like Zach said, open at 5. We'll be rocking till late into the evening. It'll be great. Yeah. That same night at the conservatory, we're having an after party there. Those folks are putting on a great show over there, a lot of great local bands. So Zach and I will certainly make our way over there at some point. And then Sunday, folks can also go back to the riverfront. There's more F1 powerboat racing. They're also doing a cornhole tournament on the amphitheater grounds as well. And that'll be Championship Sunday where they'll announce all the winners. And, the whole weekend, man. It's going to be, you go down there at some point, you'll find something.
I was kind of curious, though. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous for you guys. When I'm like, man, Saturday is going to be a freaking nightmare. If you're opening gates at 2 in the afternoon and, the powerboat race. I'm on. Call me later, okay? My phone's like buzzing and going crazy right now. The text line's for you, 618-759-7469. But
suggestions.
You suck,
Dude,
I'm right here.
So bad. These are the worst guests ever.
The dude's got great teeth, but other than that.
Now, whenever you were talking with lining up bands, Lark and Poe, how did that fit into the mold? What were you looking for? Was it just availability, mapping-wise? What kind of came into play with laying this show out?
Lark and Poe's been one of Zach and I's favorite bands for a handful of years now. Same thing with Tyler Brown and the Shakedown, and then Feel, of course. So we have internally, it's kind of a numbers game where you send out a lot of avails. Say, hey, here's the date. And especially with this being late in the game, we had to really scope it out.
Yeah.
We had noticed that Larkin was up in Chicago on Friday, and they were routing back to Nashville.
Yeah. And so they were on one of the first lists of availabilities we got. And from the get-go, we were like, we need to have Larkin Poe. Like, whatever happens, however it turns out, if we got acts on both sides of them, we want Larkin Poe to be at MRF because of what they represent, the kind of music they do. So we're doing our show this year. It's just a statement show, one-night deal where we're playing rock and roll music. And we thought the rock and roll, we're rock and roll fans.
Right.
And, and just how we're raised and whatnot. But, staying true to the legacy of MRF, they had their parameters were a little bit of something for everybody. So they had symphony, they had, solo artists, they had, some gospel, barbershop, rock and roll, pop, comedy, all over the map. They did
I didn't realize they had comedy. I missed that part.
Like Bob Hope, he came and did a great set, one of Lyle's favorite stories to tell.
Dance too.
Yeah, but just a little bit of something for everybody. And that's one of the big gripes we get online is well, you need to have more variety. It's but we're limited to one night here, and we're trying to make a statement. So we think that to encapsulate the time, rock and roll was the counterculture, just what was going on in the time. That was pop music back then. That was what was playing on the radio, was rock and roll. So we think that that's a great way to kick our movement back off and restart this thing is with pure rock and roll. And man, the musicianship, the writing from all of these bands is just off the charts. And they stay true to that of the legacy and excellence. And Larkin Poe, one of their biggest influences is like the Allman Brothers Band.
Okay, huge.
They played at MRF.
Yeah.
Like we've seen them do live shows where they do medley transitions with Allman Brothers Band song. Like, and I know they're all about Albert King. But like the classics, and a lot of which performed at MRF, they're influenced by. And you hear that in their southern rock, soul, blues.
And they've toured with a lot of original MRF bands too.
Yeah.
So like,
it's cool as hell.
Obviously we're not gonna put out our emails to them, but if you could just see these emails back and forth between us and them, they are over the moon to be associated with this festival.
That's actually, you're reading my mind a little, because I was going to ask if they understood the kind of the prowess that comes with being the headliner for the revival of the MRF.
That was one of the stories. So like I said, when you're booking music in a 3-month window, it's tedious. So we knew that we had to create a story around this to, to convince them to play here. So ZZ Top closed out the festival in 1980. They were the last band to play.
That's what happened.
Yes.
Gosh.
So Feel, right? They are going to be the first band to play the MRF, and the previous band was ZZ Top. I mean, like, I know it's again a different location and total thing, but it's the same name, same festival, and just like you're playing on the same platform that these legendary bands played, and so. They've loved this storyline. They've heard of the MRF from back in the day. And actually, Rebecca and Tyler Bryant are very good friends with Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top.
Yeah.
So they've been kind of chatting about it. It's cool. It feels timeless. You're just connected, all decades of music.
It seems like, too, this is a show where the artist can truly let the hair out and have some fun. Because, I mean, when you're at an arena show or a stadium show, there's so much that goes into that. You can tell whenever they're not having the most fun on stage. But here's an environment, I mean, where they're loving the story. They love the fact that this is historic and has some significance to the region and to the music industry across the country, really, because of how big MRF was. And they can truly enjoy the riverfront behind them, or the river behind them, and all of these sights and sounds. And that's what makes that fun.
Yeah. And another really special element of it. So the lead singer of Larkin Poe, Rebecca Lovell, she is married to Tyler Bryant of Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown.
I'll be damned.
And,
wow.
And they never play shows together. Like
that is interesting.
They don't play shows on the same bill.
Yeah.
And they already teased from the get-go of doing like some sort of collab. We're not counting on it, but like hoping and think that.
Wow.
But that's just another special element of this. Is like, man, you might see some fun crossover stuff where they get to be creative. It's like, hey, let's jam on this. Let's do something fun. So I think that it'll be a special atmosphere.
What I think's cool too is you guys have really gone about this the right way. Is this is only year one. This is show one with hopefully many more to come. Absolutely. And you got to start somewhere. And when you're starting off with this type of lineup, I mean, you're really putting the best foot forward, especially hearing the timing and everything else that you guys had to kind of encounter and battle.
Yeah, it was fate.
I challenge.
How it all worked out.
Well, yeah, and even how like getting 4 bands. You know, so the 3 bands, Larkin Poe, Tyler Bryant, the Shakedown, and Fastball, they're all loosely connected to the same management. So everything is just falling into place. So it was real easy to get others involved as well, and then Feel. But yeah, anybody who listens to Larkin Poe, whether it's live on Saturday or if you check out their records before, I dare you to try and listen to that and tell me that they're not a phenomenal band. I mean, it's incredible. The harmonies, the songwriting, the attitude, and just women in rock and roll too is awesome.
Well, and what happened to the days of people going and just trying it out to see if they like the music anyway?
Worst case, you lose $25. You know,
and you have fun on the riverfront and have fun drinking and just enjoying the night. I mean, there's a lot worse I could do and have done with $25.
Absolutely, man. That's how we should have been selling.
That's true.
That's how we should have been selling it all.
I'll only take 10 points next year. But with that being said, what's the best way to get tickets and all that information?
Sure. If you go to www.MississippiRiverFest.com, take you right to our ticketing platform. You can also find every bit of information on RiversandRoutes.com. That has a schedule for the whole weekend as well as ticket links. And then people can also buy tickets on site there. We are stoked about this. Tickets are going fast, so make sure people jump in, as they can, because it's going to be an historic night in Alton. Man.
There you go.
Cool. Good time.
We're out of time. I'll see you tomorrow on Thursday. All of you, stay inside. You don't need to be out in the sun today. Put some sunscreen on. Most importantly, get your tickets for MRF and an action-packed weekend in Alton. We'll see you on Thursday. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.